The story begins with a young man named Kelvin who has just been reincarnated into a new world. He died by mistake of a god, so he was allowed to choose the skills he would have in his new life. Kelvin wakes up with no idea where he is. A menu appears welcoming him into the new world. He pushes the start button and hears a voice that begins to welcome him. It tells him that he has been reincarnated into a fantasy world and his memories have been wiped, a condition he had agreed to for more powerful skills. Kelvin is shocked why his past self would agree to have his memories erased. The status window opens showing the skills he had chosen. He has a summoning skill that's S rank and an ability to get double the stats from leveling up. Seeing his skills, Kelvin gets excited to start his adventure. The voice tells him to head to the nearby town and register at the guild to be an adventurer. Along his way, Kelvin asks the menu if it will be joining him on his adventure, remembering that he had his memories wiped. It reveals it is actually the goddess of reincarnation Melfina, who he fell in love with and asked to be his servant, and she accepted his request as a way to take a vacation from her job. Kelvin is confused how he could love her without his memories. He asks if he can summon her, but she tells him he needs to become stronger and have more mana before he can. He arrives at the Adventurers Guild and registers as a basic mage, keeping his summoner skill a secret. As Melfina explains, summoners are so rare that kings would start wars to acquire him. He starts off in the lowest F rank, and the clerk explains that you can only take missions up to 1 rank higher than your own and can move up a rank if you complete 10 missions in a row. He takes his first job to slay some blue slimes. He picks up a wooden rod which helps to boost his magic ability and heads to the fields. He comes across 3 slimes. Melfina tells him to try out his other S rank skill, Appraising Eye. It allows him to see all the slime stats. He can see the stats of anyone up to 100 levels above him. Melfina tells him he can tame the slime if he can injure it first. Kelvin attacks using his rod instead of magic, so he doesn't kill it in one shot. To his surprise, the slimes are more challenging than expected, but eventually he is able to land a hit on it, weakening it enough for him to tame it. The taming is successful and he names it Clotho. He summons it and it seems to have gained a personality as it jumps up and down. Together with Clotho, they take on some more slimes. Kelvin uses his wind magic, taking out a slime in one hit, and Clotho runs circles around and crushes the other. Kelvin notices that Clotho is much stronger since becoming his summon. Melfina explains that his S-rank summoner skill gives his servants a bonus 100 to all stats. She also tells him he is the only S-rank summoner in this world, with others only at B or C rank. Kelvin returns to the town and looks for an inn to spend the night. Along the way, he sees an elf locked in a cage. He is disturbed to find slavery is common in this world, but tries not to think about it. He gets a room at the end and enjoys his first meal in the world. Kelvin starts grinding, leveling up and learning new skills. He learns the concealment skill, which allows him to hide his stats and summon her skill from others. Clotho was even able to evolve into a gigantic gluttonous slime. A week later, Kelvin is already promoted up to E rank. He is drawing attention to himself, completing his mission solo and getting promoted so quickly. A D-rank adventurer, Cackle, introduces himself. He has a reputation around the guild for crushing new adventurers. He proposes that Kelvin join his party on a D-rank hunt for a black ghost knight. With his appraisal skill, Kelvin sees that Cashel has a murderer title. Instead of joining him, he suggests they compete to see who can kill the monster first. Cashel leaves and joins up with his criminal party members Gimel and Raj. They plot to murder Kelvin at a ruined castle. Cashel and his party arrive. They're shocked to find that all the monsters are already dead. Kelvin appears and tells them that he has seen through their scheme and challenges them to a fight. He makes fun of Raj, who charges straight at him. He falls into a trap which Kelvin has hidden with his concealment skill. Raj gets stuck and begins to sink. Kelvin attacks with his wind magic and Gimel makes a run for it. However, Clotho blocks his exit and chases him back in. Clotho takes Kimmel out with a single hit and binds Raj. Cashel charges at Kelvin but is also easily beaten up. They confess to hunting new players for experience and Kelvin ties them up to turn them in. After that, Kelvin continues his hunt. He comes across the monster and asks it to join his party. It turns out his name is Gerard and is surprisingly nice, like an old uncle, even giving Kelvin some candy. Gerard explains he was once a human knight but became a black ghost after he died. Before he can agree to join Kelvin, he must first see his strength. They have a duel and Gerard is able to block all of Clotho's attacks. Gerard slashes back at Kelvin, which he barely dodges. As Clotho continues to attack, Kelvin uses his air magic to bind Gerard's movements. Gerard remembers his purpose. He wants revenge on elf named Gildora, who destroyed the kingdom he served and led to the death of his wife and daughter. With this memory, Gerard breaks free from Kelvin's magic and charges at him. Kelvin binds him once again and Clotho fires a huge beam attack at Gerard. The next day Kelvin supplies a piece of Gerard's armor as proof he completed the job. Everyone in the guild is amazed at his accomplishment. This combined with catching Fishel leads to Kelvin receiving a special promotion up to D rank. Gerard joins Clotho and Melfina as Kelvin's newest monster. At the guild, Kelvin runs into Leo, the guild master. He is shocked when Leo asks if he is from another world. Kelvin realizes Leo's appraisal skill is stronger than his concealment skill, so he can see all his stats and skills. In the guild master's room, Kelvin has no choice but to admit to being a summoner. He confronts Leo about why he did nothing about Cashel, and Leo admits he knew Cackle was a murderer. But because he was a noble of the Tristan nation, he needed to get proof, so he is grateful to Kelvin for dealing with him. Getting to the point of the conversation, Leo expresses his desire to become friends with Kelvin, noting he's met other worlders in the past such as the heroes of the Holy Empire Deramis. Melfina notes that she was the one who reincarnated them and promises to tell Kelvin more later. Leo continues his explanation about the heroes of Deramis, claiming that the priest is therefore told of the revival of the Demon Lord. The Demon Lord's influence has caused all other monsters to become stronger and more aggressive. Seeing that Kelvin already possesses the skills of an S-ranked adventurer, Leo asks him to protect the town instead of the heroes. They come to an agreement. After Leo offers him a number of incentives like increasing his rank and assistance on missions. After that, the innkeeper Claire congratulates him for reaching B rank. Enjoying his lunch in his room, Kelvin asks Melfina about the heroes of Deramis. She tells him that 1 year ago the priestess of the Deramis Empire performed a summoning ritual, so she reincarnated other people and had chosen them due to their good looks and knowledge. After hearing this, Kelvin retrieves his reward money from Clotho, whom he has been using for storage thanks to his gluttonous ability. He heads off to the alleyway where the slaves are being sold. He tells Gerard he plans to train a slave to become his rear guard to boost his party's strength. Upon reaching the alleyway, there is a man on fire. Kelvin spots the half-elf that he saw from the other day. The slave trader reveals nobody wishes to purchase her because she is cursed and will burn anyone that touches her. With his appraisal skill, Kelvin sees that she is cursed by the Fire Dragon King. He learns from Melfina that the only way to remove this would be in a ranked white magic spell called Sacred Bless. Kelvin leaves as the elf watches him. Later, Kelvin returns and offers to buy the elf. The slave trader is confused why he would want his cursed slave, but he gives in when Kelvin hands him a bag of gold. As they head back to the inn, the elf introduces herself as a Feel and thanks Kelvin for buying her. When Kelvin approaches her, she backs away, scared to hurt him with her curse. Kelvin casts Sacred Bless on her and breaks the curse. Finally being able to touch someone for the first time, a Feel breaks down and cries in gratitude to Kelvin. They return to the inn and a Feel is taken under the wing of Claire. A Feel is dressed up in a maid outfit and they enjoy dinner together. After that, Kelvin reveals his secrets to her, telling her that he is a summoner and introducing her to Gerard and Clotho. He helps her with allocating her skill points and lets her choose to let her learn to make her own decisions. At night, however, they are forced to share a bed, causing Kelvin to experience a sleepless night.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
And that's the end of the video. Don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I will bring more excitement anime in the future. Thanks for watching, bye.